Well, I found time to watch another episode of Space 1999.
All right. So, what happened in this one?
Well, it was called the Immunity Syndrome.
Immunity Syndrome. Isn't that like a title of a...
Yeah, Star Trek episode, but, well, what are you going to do?
Well, they copied quite a bit.
Well, yeah, but they travel on a moon instead of a starship, so it's different. But anyway, so once again, they find a planet and they want to move to it. Well, not just yet. You know, they're investigating it. And for the most part, if they discover they can't stay there, at least they're going to replenish supplies and stuff.
Ah, that makes sense.
Yeah, sure. And so they're doing their surveys and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, a mysterious light attacks one of the crewmen and he goes nuts.
Oh, wow. Like it fried his bread or something.
Yeah, something. And, of course, Tony rushes in to save him.
And that doesn't go well, does it?
No, it doesn't. They struggle and fight, and the other one's gun goes off and kills the crewman. Yeah.
Oh, which one?
I don't know, just one of the extras you never seen before.
You know, that's interesting. Do we have an actual count of how many people are living on Moon Base Alpha?
Yeah, I'm sure they've mentioned it, and I don't recall, but you know.
Well, it's a finite number.
Well, yeah, it would have to be.
Well, they sure killed a lot of extras, and they never seem to be lacking in people.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's a substantial enough number that, you know, they got quite a few more to go through before they're pretty much out of crewmen, you know?
Yeah, but there's not a lot of space there.
Well, it may seem that way, but, you know, when they show them going through the tunnels and stuff, it's a rather large complex. So you just have to go with that, like it's this, you know, city-sized base on the moon.
All right, I guess so.
Yeah. So anyway, they're, something's wrong. And then the mysterious light hits Tony, and then he goes nuts.
How can anyone tell?
Well, I mean, I don't think he could be seen as being mentally ill.
Yeah, you're right. It's just kind of stupid.
Yeah, sort of. So anyway, he's going crazy, and they try to track him down, and oh no, what's wrong with Tony and all that. Eventually, I think he collapses into a coma.
You think? Well, look.
It didn't really captivate me all that.
Oh.
So they realize, oh no, something's wrong with Tony. Something terrible happened to the other guy. We need to get him back to Alpha so that the doctor can work on him and all that sort of stuff. Problem is, everything starts to break down. Koenig lands, and the Eagle's malfunctioning. Even the metal of the shuttle is corrupted and falling apart and everything. They're like, hey, what the hell's going on? Their communications ultimately begin to fail. Dr. Russell and Maya said, oh, we want to come and help. No, we don't know what's going on. And after a while, you know, they're trying to figure out what's going on. But then one of the crewmen eats one of the fruits they've had there and dies from it because the fruit is poisonous.
Well, what an idiot. I mean, he's on an alien planet. He just grabs something because, I don't know, it looks like a juicy fruit. And then he just bites into it. Moron. I mean, you know, good riddance.
Well, you see, they had tested it already ahead of time and it was fine.
What?
Yeah. Probably some of the people even have already consumed it. But now, suddenly, it's all poison.
But how did that happen?
That's a good question, Lefty. But don't worry. The whole plot of the show will answer that.
Oh, okay. Well, then I guess that's all right then. So, okay, I take it back. Maybe the guy's not too much of a moron, but certainly was just another crew member that we never saw before and we never will again.
Yeah, that's right. So anyway, boy, they're baffled and befuddled and all that stuff. And of course, Dr. Russell and Maya, they want to get there because, you know, their boyfriends are down there. And, but, you know, Koenig said, no, don't. You'll be trapped like us. And if we can't figure out how to escape, we're doomed. But at least the rest of Alpha will survive.
Oh, that's nice. He's really concerned about his crew.
Yeah, but mostly Dr. Russell.
Well, you know, That's his girl.
Yeah. So anyway, but suddenly, Maya or Dr. Russell or both, I forget who, remembered, hey, we've got a glider.
What?
Oh, yeah. They got this glider craft that can piggyback off of an eagle and then land on the planet. And that way they don't have to destroy an eagle by going to the planet and stuff like that.
Okay, but what about the glider? What if it becomes corroded and falls apart and they crash and die, you know?
Well, it turns out it's made out of carbon rather than the metal. And
well, that's convenient.
yeah.
They never mentioned this before, right?
Yeah, well, it was probably in the garage somewhere. They brought it out of storage. I don't know what they were supposed to do with it under normal circumstances, but they had it. So that's how Maya and Dr. Russell get there.
Yeah, all right.
So anyway, Dr. Russell's looking at Tony and trying to treat him and everything, but she's like, oh my God, he's going to die if we don't get him off this planet.
Well, that's true of everybody, really.
Yeah, it is, because they got nothing to eat. Probably can't even drink the water at this point. But they do find this installation that some alien race left behind.
Oh, here we go. It's probably some buried treasure. They left a bunch of traps or something.
Nope, not quite. Turns out this is the remnants of a previous expedition that had also explored this planet.
Oh, so what happened to them?
Well, they're all dead.
What?
Yeah, well, same thing that's happening to the Alpha crew happened to them. So eventually they get in there and they find the corpse of an old alien, and then they find these recordings he left behind explaining what happened. So they all encountered the mysterious light, and they went nuts and killed one another, stuff like that. It was just a mess.
Well, I imagine.
Yeah, so then there was just the last guy. However, before death is oncoming, you start to regain your sanity.
Oh, well, that's just horrible. I mean, you did all that horrible stuff, but right before you die, you're back to normal, just so you could be aware of your own death.
Yeah, it's kind of cruel and vindictive in that part of it. But anyway, the guy explains that the whole planet is alive. There's an entity there, and it sees them as invaders, and so it's causing all the problems to protect itself from them because it doesn't know who or what they are. He develops a suit to make himself, invulnerable to most of the effects that the planet can attack him with, which I guess its only pivotal point just happens to be this a little rock formation that has where the light comes out of.
So that's like the planet's eye, just that one little spot.
I don't know, I guess. So the guy was going to go do that, but the problem was he forgot to have a protective covering for his eyes.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so he got blasted with the light, went crazy, murdered some more of his crewmen and stuff, and now realizes when he's sane again that he makes his last recording before he dies and says, well, I tried, but I screwed up.
It's the most obvious thing. If the other people were going crazy because the light flashed them in the eyes, then you needed to cover your eyes.
Yeah. Yeah, but he didn't think of that. Oh, my God. So anyway, the aliens all died, of course. And so Walter Koenig is like, let's take a look at this suit. So they open his closet, and there it is. And wouldn't you know it, it happens to fit him.
Wow, that's convenient.
Well, there's a lot of conveniences in, these shows, and you just got to go with it.
Yeah, all right.
So anyway, puts it on and realizes, hey, I'll cover my eyes.
Right.
Yes, and it worked.
Oh, did it?
Yes. So he goes and makes contact with the alien entity and realizes, oh my God, the whole planet is alive. And basically, this is its immune system fighting off a strange foreign invader, I guess. Right?
Yeah. So that's that. It was all a misunderstanding.
Yeah, most things are, I suppose. And the alien entity says, oh, gee, well, I'm sorry about that. And Koenig's like, yeah, okay. So everything's fine now. The planet, the food and stuff won't kill them. The water's fine, all that good stuff. And they can send down an eagle to come rescue them so they can go back to Alpha.
Well, if the planet's fine and everything, then maybe they could just stay there.
Yeah, well, by the time they found this out, Alpha Base had already drifted too far from the planet, so it won't be able to maintain its gravity well or what have you, take orbit or whatever,
Yeah, that was always sketchy about that.
Yeah, and if they don't hurry up and hop on the Eagle to get back, they'll be too far away to make it back. So yeah, they got to do that. So they had to give up the planet. But look, after discovering the whole planet is a living being, what if the living being has had enough of them and decides to wipe them out again,
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, you're right. It's too bad because, it had everything they needed, right?
Pretty much, yeah. But the planet could turn everything into poison at will and drive them nuts. So, yeah, it just wasn't going to work out.
No, it's a shame. Sometimes, there's you want to move and you find a house that's just about perfect, but then, the neighborhood it's in,
What do you say?
Well,
Well, anyway, that's the deal with that episode of Space 1999.
Boy, well, I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, especially since it's the last one.
What?
Yep. The next episode is the final episode of Space 1999.